Hello everybody, this is Jeff Janess and welcome to our 7th lab exercise in our Data Types in ArcGIS Pro lecture. And in this exercise we're going to see what a tin looks like, a triangulated irregular network. It's kind of a fun sort of data set, a three-dimensional thing that's kind of fun to spin around and explore in. It's a cool way to see the shape of the land. And this is tins are vector data sets. You get a lot of elevation data in raster format, in which case they're called digital elevation models or digital surface models. Well, raster format is really cool as well, but this is the vector type of an elevation surface. And we're going to look at it in what we call a scene. So we're going to come to our ArcGIS Pro. We're going to insert a new map, and this time it's going to be a new local scene. So scenes are types of maps where you can look at sort of a 3D perspective and kind of explore with the three-dimensionality of it. Now we're going to add the tin, and in ArcGIS Pro we have to actually first define it as the ground surface. So we're going to right-click on ground. We're going to do add elevation source layer. And we're going to go find our tin. Our tin is sitting in our class data folder in the DEM folder in the subfolder called other data. So it's in class, it's in this class GIS data right here in DEM other data, and here it is. It's a tin of the area around the Wallow Fire in eastern Arizona. Now we hit OK, and this defines that tin to be the ground level of the landscape. Now it has now been defined as the elevation surface upon which other data will be drawn. Now right now we don't see anything here. What we do is we have the ground selected, hit this word ground, come up to the elevation surface layer tab here. First thing we're going to do is shade relative to light position, so we'll start seeing some shadows appear in here. It helps us kind of see where things are. And just to make this look a little more dramatic, I'm going to set the vertical exaggeration to 5 times. That means what would normally look like, say, 10 feet elevation change will now look like 50. So it'll just be a little bit stronger. All right, so now we have set up the ground. Like I said, this is the surface upon which other data will be drawn. Now this time we're going to add the tin again, and I'm going to just turn on off the visibility of the ground surface. But we're going to add the tin again, but this time it is going to be added as just a 2D layer. So we just hit the Add Data button. We go find in our class GIS data the DEM. Other data, here it is again. Now it's being added as a data set to draw, and it is drawing. We got to turn on the surface. Yeah, so I guess we have to have these ground surface turned on before it will draw upon it. All right, so it is now here, and we can view it in a 3D perspective. We can play with our mouse and start to zoom in at different parts of it, see it from different angles, and we just get a good sense of the shape of the land from this. And right now it's drawn pretty dramatically. If we went back to the vertical exaggeration of the original, we change it here and hit enter. We're going to have to re-zoom to the layer. So we're going to right-click on it, go zoom to layer. And you might notice that you just don't get near as much exaggeration here. Let's come back here. Yeah, just don't see as much drama there. Anyway, so this is how you can add a tin and see it in a three-dimensional perspective. A little more there. All right, so the tin itself in this case is being used as the ground surface upon which other things are being drawn, and then it is also being used as the thing that is drawing upon it. It takes 2 steps to get it there. But we don't have to just draw a tin in here. Now that we have the tin as the ground surface, we can use we can draw other things on it. Oh, and looking at the lab exercise, I remember there's a couple other things I wanted to show you. First off, the fact that it's a tin, let's see, I'm going to apply flat shading so this is easier. Remember, tin stands for Triangulated Irregular Network, which means that everything in it is a triangle, and if we zoom in you can definitely see that. It's just made up of a whole bunch of triangles, and these form this three-dimensional surface. We can use the Explorer tool like you use in other data sets. In this case, if we use the Explorer tool to click on the tin, it will tell us, it'll calculate the elevation, the slope, and the aspect of that point that you clicked on. And this data is not stored within the tin itself. It's calculated on the fly based on the three corners of that three-dimensional triangle. It's a pretty simple calculation, and it just reports that to you. So we know that this triangle here appears to have a slope of almost 30 degrees and such aspect and elevation. Okay. Now, let's take a look at how we can draw other data sets upon this tin. I'm going to turn the tin itself off, and I'm going to add just imagery. Imagery is kind of fun for this. Just an imagery base map. And you can see it really does have a kind of a fun effect. You can sort of see the landscape as if you're in an airplane. I mean, it doesn't capture the shapes of the trees and all that, but it does a pretty good job of capturing the shape of the land itself, and it puts shadows onto the landscape, so it's pretty cool. You can make some pretty neat visual effects with this. Another data set that's kind of fun to throw in is the USGS topo maps. You know, those are such great maps for almost any ecological application. You can get to it a little complicated. This used to be a lot easier in earlier versions of the software, but if you hit the Add Data button, go to ArcGIS Online, type in USA Topo, it will find this map image layer, USA Topo Maps. We'll just add that to ArcMap. And you might recognize these contours, a good old contour map here. And so it's kind of a fun effect. You can see a little bit of the contouring lines being drawn upon the data. This one, it might look a little better if we change the vertical exaggeration back to the normal. It's not, in this case we don't need it to be as dramatic. But yeah, so kind of fun to play with. And we don't have to throw in image layers on here. We can load other vector data and have it draw. In fact, we can throw in this wall of burn severity layer file. If you remember, the layer file is a set of instructions on how to draw it. So I've already got the burn severity symbolized this way. So let's just load up that layer file. Come back to Map, hit Add Data. This layer file is sitting in our Class Data folder in the subfolder called Wallow in Data. Burn Severity LYRX is the better one for ArcGIS Pro. We're going to hit OK. And we're starting to see a little bit of the fire appear over here. So let's zoom to the extent of that layer. So here's the wall of fire as it's arrayed across the landscape. And we can zoom into it and view it from a three-dimensional perspective. We can see the mountain ranges upon which it burned and see the severity at different regions. Okay. Yep, and that's the end of the lab exercise.